All right, everyone, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Going to be breaking down the Sunday night showdown here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. Let's go in and get into it. And so when we look at the kind of totals and point spread that we're getting in this game, I'm a little bit surprised that the Eagles are going to be 2.5 point favorites. I probably would be favored the Lions to win this game. They are a little bit banged up. That's probably part of the reason as to why they're underdogs. Also, it's a home game for the Eagles, so I'm sure that has to do partially with that. We are going to get a lot of value, though, for the Lions in this game. Looking at the game total, decent game total, 46.5 total points. So nothing really too much there, although I'm a little bit shocked that the Eagles are 2.5 point favorites. So although I'm trying to load up on Lions players because of the value that we're getting, we cannot ignore getting to the Eagles players, even though they are priced up. And so who are those players that are injured for the Lions? Well, Sam Laporta is on the IR, but also his backup tight end is currently questionable as well. If he plays, he's one of the best values on the slate. Okay, I don't want to say he should be a lineup lock, but he definitely should be someone we are going out of our way to target. If he ends up sitting, Ross Dwelly is probably someone that we need to be looking at, although I don't think we'd really he'd just be too cheap. I'm not expecting big things from him. I would expect Brock Wright to be a decent play if he does end up playing. Now, another thing here is that Isaac Tesla is currently questionable as well. If he ends up sitting, then this Khalif Raymond play that I really like would be an even better option. I already think just as price tag, he is someone we should be going out of our way to target. I actually think with Laporta being out, it's going to benefit him the most. Okay, guys, Khalif Raymond ended up playing 54% of the snaps in the previous week, had a 49% route share, 4 targets in that game. And that's not just because the game was a blowout. He has been out-snapping Isaac Tesla a little bit more recently as well. So just as price tag, he's already in play. But I think because Sam Laporta is out, we're going to be looking at him a little bit more. And again, if Brock Wright is out, obviously we're going to be looking at him as well. So Jameson Williams is also going to be a play that is going to be popping at this price tag. I actually think this has kind of been how I've been using Williams this year, is more of a better captain's option than he is like flex option. Okay, like he has the upside to really go off and break the slate. Now, the issue is that you also have Jahmyr Gibbs there, who's really a slate buster, right? 41 DFS points, 31 if we round up, 27. Like, he could really go off, and that wouldn't be shocking. But then we're probably not getting to St. Brown, who has just been extremely consistent there as well. So this is the tough part about the slate. We're getting a bunch of value here for the Lions, but our pay-up studs that we want to begin to, that we can feel confident in, are also with the Lions. So the question I have is, like, how many Lions are too many Lions? Because we still have David Montgomery, who is a very touchdown-dependent play, but also, like, not terrible. You have their kicker, Jake Bates, who is extremely appealing on this slate. Okay, the Eagles defense has kind of been a bend but don't break DST, and with this game being decently high scoring, projected to stay close, I do think we could end up with some field goal attempts here for Jake Bates, so he's pretty darn interesting there as well. Okay, guys, and then we go ahead and get into the Eagles. The Eagles are very tough, okay, because we know they're very top heavy. We know the 4 we're looking at. It's Hurts, it's Barkley, it's Brown, and then it's also Devonta Smith. We could also look at kind of a touchdown-dependent play in Dallas Goedert. We're looking at the ownership, guys. I'll pull it up here. Jalen Hurts is projected to be the highest owned player on this slate, as he should be. Okay, he should be a very safe play. I do think we want to be going out of our way to roster him. The issue that we had there would almost be kind of the value that we have left over then in a lineup like this, because then we're trying to get to Devonta Smith and AJ Brown, both of which I don't mind, but then we're going to be paying up elsewhere. Okay, so it's kind of a unique slate in which we can afford the studs, but we're also going to be fading a bunch of studs as well. And so it just comes down to kind of getting lucky, choosing really between Devonta Smith and AJ Brown. I think that's going to be the deciding factor here on the slate. Let's actually take a peek at the ownerships for those 2 receivers here. Who's coming in higher owned? Devonta Smith, 30%, AJ Brown, 27%. To me, that is correct. So not a big difference there. But I do think there should be a rule that in lineups with Jalen Hurts in the captain spot, you do want to begin to one of them. Now, the outside variable is Dallas Goedert, who keeps finding ways to be productive fantasy-wise. I mean, 6 targets last game, that's going to be good. But he's had 11, 9, and 7. And then he's had a lot of games where he just was scoring touchdowns. That's really what you'd be searching for from Dallas Goedert if you play him, is searching for a touchdown. So let's go ahead and give you guys a first to build, and then we'll go ahead and take a peek at what the 9-5 lineup builder is spinning out to us. And well, just real quick, guys, I don't think we need to mess with Tank Bigsby and Will Shipley. They did kind of split the work for the second string running back spot. I don't think we need to get there with the likely value that we're getting with the Detroit Lions. I mean, so here's like a pretty good build that we could make while playing Brock Wright and Khalif Raymond. Again, two players that value-wise, I think we should be targeting. Now, do you necessarily have to go out of your way to target them? Maybe not, but like this ends up being a pretty darn good build. We're stacking Jalen Hurts with A.J. Brown. We could also get to Devonta Smith if we wanted to. We're still getting Gibbs and ASB in a lineup together, so it does end up working out pretty well. So that's kind of the theme, is I think we'll be able to make a good lineup. But that being said, like I don't like the idea of fading Goff, Saquon, Williams. Again, I think Williams could really break the slate, and then Devonta Smith. Like it's educated dart throws, right? Especially in terms of like hand building lineups. And so I do think it's more of a lineup generation type night. And what I mean by that is we're kind of preparing for the randomness a little bit more in that regard. So I'm going to make you guys 5 lineups here and just see what it spits out to us. We are going to force a QB stack with a pass catcher and just see what it's spitting out to us. So the top lineup is going to be Dallas Goedert in the captain spot, ASB, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Brock Wright. I don't hate that. I don't think we need to do that, but I don't mind Hurts and Goddard. That's actually a pretty unique build. That's not terrible. The next one, though, is a little bit better. You get Hurts, Gibbs, Smith, Brown, which I like, Goddard, and Brock Wright. Now, I don't know if we would necessarily want to get to 3 of the Eagles pass catchers. Okay, I don't necessarily see that hitting, so we'd probably get off of one of these two, and a simple switch would be getting to Jameson Williams off of either Smith or Brown. That's fine. Or potentially going to a kicker from Dallas Goedert and maybe trying to get up to Khalif Raymond. That's fine. In terms of the chalkiest build, A.J. Brown, Gibbs, Hurts, Barkley, Jake Elliott, Brock Wright. That's a pretty darn good build there as well. So again, it's very easy to make a lot of good builds. It's kind of a fun slate in that regard. Hopefully it ends up being a better Monday Night Football game DFS wise in terms of the enjoyment of the game than it was last Monday with the Eagles there. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. All right, that's going to do it. And as always, let's keep cashing.